can you just start out by giving me some information on where you're at prior to getting started with our program, kind of where you're at in your business experience on Amazon?
Yes, so I'm still a very new Amazon seller. I started in the last quarter of 2025, and before I joined you guys, I was just trying to get ungated for the couple products that I bought on, the product websites. And I was having a very hard time ungating because I think, the last year Amazon has really tightened, made it really hard for newcomers, new sellers to start selling on Amazon. And so I was really struggling at that time. I was starting to realize that this is not going to work for me as a new seller in 2025. And so that was when I came across you guys on Instagram, and I saw your guys' message on Brand Direct, and I was like, oh, that makes sense to me. And so I hopped on and I took the courses, and right now I am slowly getting into the groove of reaching out to brands. I've gotten one approval so far, and it's been a learning process. I've the materials that you guys provide are awesome. It literally tells me what to say. No matter what kind of message I get, I know I have a script that I can respond to the brands. And so, for me right now, it's just, using the resources that you guys provided to, just keep going at it and keep reaching out to brands, and hopefully I'll get, many more approvals.
Great. So you went with the mid-tier package with us, right? The Launchpad or Kickstart package?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, great. So we're still working on getting you the brand. We're coming up on getting you that brand here very, very soon, right? You haven't gotten one from us.
Oh, actually, I got the brand approval.
Oh, okay.
So I bought my first order for the brand, and I'm waiting to get ungated for that too.
Okay, great. And when did you come on board?
In October.
Okay. Yeah, cool. All right. So the main issue that you were having before coming on board was really just ungating was the main problem, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. And, since coming on board, what are the main, how has the communication been with the team? How has it been working with Griffin? Just give us a little bit of insight into kind of what the experience is actually like us when it comes to support.
I think, the support has been great. Whenever I have questions, I message Griffin, and he gets back to me almost right away. And there's in the Discord platform, I can always ask questions. I can message anyone I want. I can, it's a community there, where, people answer each other's questions and, throw in ideas, and then you guys, once in a while, you guys give your, motivational messages, which is great. Let's make it a great week. I love that. And, I think it's been great. I know I have, the community, and, I know I can reach out to you guys, and you guys, always get back to me.
What would you say the average response time is from Griffin?
I would say definitely within 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Griffin is a partial owner of our company, so we strive to have the best support possible, and having an owner be that person that really manages our community, I think makes a huge difference compared to a lot of other mentorship programs where you're just learning from like an employee. Obviously, an owner wants to take care of the clients a lot better than just the ordinary employee would, right? So that's why we have Griffin in that position, and he does a really good job. So before, you had a approval from us. Did you get one on your own as well from the mentorship?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2 approvals. And then you bought a round of inventory through our buying group as well, correct?
No, not through the buying group.
Okay.
But I did join the KeHE, that distribution, like opened an account with them, and did order some products from them too.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. All right. So a lot of the reason why we're on this call right now and doing this interview, and first of all, thank you for being open to doing it with us and being transparent kind of with the way your experience is going. The reason why we do this is to build trust, right? When you're going online and you're seeing an Instagram ad, or if you're finding somebody online, it's a very tough decision as to whether or not you can trust somebody, you know? So had you looked at any other programs before us?
Yes, I was actually in another program before you guys that was more like an arbitrage program, teaching more the basic stuff, how to look at Keepa charts. And
Yeah.
I feel like, that was good for me in the sense that helped me prepare myself
Yeah.
so I could, get myself next into Brand Direct.
Gotcha. And would you say, from going through arbitrage, this was the best next step for you in the business?
Yes, I think this made the most sense, and this, really was, at least for me, the only way to go, because with arbitrage, I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't getting the approval to sell anything.
Yeah. So what helped you, obviously there's a process of building that trust. What gave you the confidence to come on board? I think you spoke with Cade first, which is our CEO, which is very not ordinary. He was taking some random calls that week. So you spoke with Cade, who's our CEO, then you spoke with me. So I'm sure that helped, but what other than that helped build that trust for you?
I think it was just, the way you guys presented yourself, the ad on Amazon, and your message was very clear and very concise. And when I spoke with you and Kate, obviously you guys truly believe in what you guys are teaching, and believe in, the effectiveness of, the instructions, or the whole system that you guys have built. And so I think that's what came through, and I decided to join you guys.
Great. I love it. So at this point, we've got a lot of things accomplished here within the 3 or 4 months that we've been working together. Would you say that we've helped you kind of expedite that process, and we've gotten you to where we're looking to go a lot quicker than if you were trying to continuously do what you were doing before?
Oh, yes. Because I work in healthcare, and this is in, brand sourcing and communicating with brands. This is like a whole new world to me, all the what wordings to use, and what to say to brands.
Exactly.
There's no way that I could come up with any of that by myself. And so I'm very grateful for the guidance and the instructions and the resources that you guys have laid out for in this program.
Cool. So this is going to be my last question here. If you could explain the program and what to expect to somebody coming on board, just give a brief synopsis of what that looks like.
So the very first step is to go through the course materials that you guys have put together. The modules online they're concise. They're not too long. Each video is maybe like 10 minutes, and so it's very easy to go through. I went through those modules in about like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And I took my time doing it because, I felt like I really need to understand every part before I move on. Mm-hmm. So after about 2 weeks of going through the online materials, I, jumped onto the group calls, the weekly group calls with Griffin, mm-hmm. and, other sellers that are, started the program about the same time that I did. And so in those weekly calls, he checks in with each and every one of us and answers our questions. And then, every week, we just touch base on, what the challenges that we encounter along the way, and some tips and that he'll provide. And then basically whenever we have questions, we just go back to Griffin, and he kind of just guides us through. And, we get provided with, of course, scripts, email scripts, call scripts, and whatever, we need when we reach out to brands. There are rebuttals that we can use for any kind of rejections that we get from the brands.
Great. And what was the website like? I forgot to mention that earlier. Did you got the website built out and everything? That took probably a week, 2 weeks to get that built?
Yes. The website looks great. Andre is great. I want to give him a shout out. He's awesome. I love him. He and his and the team, they basically built out my website the way I requested it. After they built it out, I asked them to, make some edits here and there, and they were very quick with, updating the website. And so far I've been, using that website to reach out to brands, and I think it looks great. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to wrap up the interview here. I appreciate you jumping on with me. Any last words to somebody that's on the fence about doing this?
I think from my perspective, I really think brand direct is the way to go, because people get ungated and then they get regated. Really go working directly with the brand I think that's how Amazon wants you to do it, in the future. That's, it's a more secure way of building the business. And obviously with a relation with the brands, you get better prices. It's just, the best solution. And I think with the guidance that you guys provide, it makes it a lot easier.
Cool. I'm going to wrap it up here. I appreciate your time.